are officially, okay.
There we go. I'll make you back host.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Happy Thursday afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Thursday afternoon to you.
Thank you. Bonnie's got her virtual background going.
Oh, yes, I want to impress you.
I am. I am impressed.
I learned that in another class. It's the only thing I learned.
You know, that's
And
why
I
you
was
need
the only
to.
one, and I was the only one in the class that learned it, and it was quite astonishing to me. But anyway, I know how
So
to do
there,
it.
everybody. Well, you know, I always tell people, come back and take this class as many times as you wish, because you're going to pick up new things as you get more comfortable. And with each class, people ask different questions. And so, you know, you never know what you're going to pick up. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm here.
I'm so glad. All right. We have a couple of more folks who are going to be coming in. I'm just going to give them another minute.
Vicky?
Hey there.
Hey, can I ask a question? I don't know if you'll cover this or not, if I have to take another class, but if I'm doing a Zoom for my class and I'm showing them a clip, a movie clip, am I able to annotate on that? Able to come in there with an arrow or draw a line, or do you know?
You should be able to. You should be able to go on to the annotations. That's a really good question.
I can do that on the whiteboard,
Yes.
but I don't know if I could actually do that on a movie clip.
I have to do a search on that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So
Wanted to
let's
throw
see.
that out.
Movie clip, add annotation.
Right.
All right. I'll have to experiment too. Ooh, that's exciting. I'll
I
add
know.
it to the after class notes. So,
Right.
ooh, I get to learn something new.
There's a lot of people in this class.
I know. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen for a little bit, get us started. And then I'm going to stop sharing because sometimes it eclipses people's. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Happy Thursday afternoon. I am Vicki, your Get Set Up Guide. For those of you who don't know me, I'm calling in from San Jose, California. That's Northern California in the right in the middle of Silicon Valley. And a little bit about me. I've worked in high tech for 30 years. I've done everything from technical support, lots of technical training, instructional design. I have instructed people from all over the world, people who are extremely technical, people who are just beginning their journey into the world of tech. And I love being a Get Set Up Guide because it enables me to do what I love most, and that is educating folks on technology, especially folks who are just starting to dip their toe into this world of technology. So that's a little bit about me. Just a few housekeeping details, and then we're just going to jump right in. Ideally, where we love to see people with their cameras on. Some of you may not know how to turn your camera on, which is what we'll be learning today. I don't require it. It's up to you if you feel comfortable putting your camera on. It's just fun to be able to see each other. So it's just up to you. Today's class is being recorded, and if you would like to get a copy of the recording, you can email us at help@getsetup.io. And if you are joining us via live stream, welcome. I always recommend that you register for a class, and that way you can fully participate in the class with us. And lastly, Get Set Up is a training organization. We are not paid to promote any products or services. We are all about the training. We're all about getting folks connected so that you can take full advantage of all the classes, the social hours, the interest groups that we host. So those are the housekeeping details. And what are we going to cover today? This is a beginner Zoom class. Some of you may have been on other Zoom calls, but today we are all pushing the same buttons and tapping the same icons. We're going to learn how to activate our cameras and microphones, get comfortable using the chat feature, understand how to work with the participant screen and the controls there. And we'll also we'll also talk a little bit about Zoom etiquette. And we'll also learn how to change our view. So that's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to stop sharing. And so let's go ahead and just get started. I understand that some folks may be on PCs, laptops, some people may be on phones, smartphones, or tablets. I'm on a laptop today, but just know that we also have a class, a beginner Zoom class for folks who are on tablets and smartphones. And so if you would like to take that specifically because you're working off of a smartphone or a tablet, feel free to take that as well. But today I'll also help out folks, whatever device you're on, I'll just give you a pointer where you need to go. So let's begin by talking a little bit about our cameras, how we turn our cameras on and off. So you know, first of all, if your camera is on, because when you look at your screen, you can see your video right there. So that's always the first clue. If you want to turn your camera on, if you're on a laptop today or a desktop or even a MacBook, if you go down to the bottom of your screen, you may have to jiggle your mouse a little bit. You will that activates your Zoom control bar. And at the bottom of your screen on your Zoom control bar, you will see an icon on the left side that looks like a little video camera. And if your camera is currently turned off, that icon will say Start Video. If you're on a tablet today, if you tap on the top of your screen, that's where your Zoom control bar lives. And on your Zoom control bar, you will also see that Stop or Start Video icon. For anyone who is on a smartphone, your Zoom control bar is at the bottom of your screen. So you just tap on the bottom of your phone screen to get to your Zoom control bar. And so feel free to just click on Start Video, Stop Video, see what it's like to turn your camera on and off. It's good to know how to do that, because you may join a Zoom meeting and the host may have set up the meeting so that all the participants join with their video, with their cameras turned off. Sometimes hosts will do that. And it's nice to know, well, how do I turn my camera back on so that people can see me? And that's how you'll do it. You'll click on that Start Video. And by the way, when your camera is turned off, that icon will read Start Video. It'll have a slash through it. That's how you know that your camera also is turned off. All right. It looks like most of us have figured this out. Let's move on and talk about your microphone. So you always know that you are muted if you look at your video screen, and on the bottom left of that little video display screen, you see a red microphone with a slash through it. If you ever see that icon, it means that your microphone is currently muted. And to unmute yourself, what you'll do is, again, if you're on a laptop or a desktop, a PC, you'll go down to the bottom of your screen. Again, you may have to jiggle your mouse a little bit. And on your Zoom control bar, you will see a little microphone icon. And if you're muted, it will say unmute. If you're not muted, it will say mute. So again, tablet users, you're just going to tap on the top of your screen to activate your Zoom control bar. That's where you'll see your microphone. And so let's go ahead and just click on the mute or unmute. Practice turning your microphone, your audio on and off. And you'll see that little red microphone icon disappear when you've unmuted yourself. And so that's always good to know, because if you're muted and you start talking, people always say, "You're muted, unmute yourself." So always look to see if that microphone's on. All right, and for today, if anybody gets stuck or you have any questions, just to go ahead and unmute yourself and feel free to just ask away. All right, great. Let me just move this around here. So the next thing I wanted to cover were Zoom etiquette tips. I have 2 tips to share with folks. The first one has to do with our microphone. It's a really good practice to get into the habit of muting yourself, muting your microphone whenever you've joined a Zoom meeting. Now, I'm not talking about if you're on a Zoom meeting with friends and family. That's different. That's very casual. This is more when you join a class similar to this one, and there are a number of participants. It's probably good to mute yourself once you've joined, because there's a lot of background noise. The dogs are barking, people are coming in and out of the room talking to you. So out of consideration for others, mute your microphone once you've joined a meeting, and then just always unmute if you need to ask a question or make a comment. So that's about muting and unmuting. The next Zoom etiquette tip has to do with our cameras. So you may find that from time to time, you just need to step away from a Zoom meeting. You need to let the dogs out. You need to talk to somebody, answer the door. What you should do is, if you do need to walk away, make sure you click on stop video to stop your camera. Also, make sure you're on mute, and then just walk away, do what you need to, come back, and then you can start your camera. Click on that start video again. So that's all about the camera. It's just, again, out of consideration of folks, when we're up and moving around, it could be a bit distracting. So just something to think about. So those are my 2 Zoom etiquette tips for the day. The next thing I wanted to make sure people were comfortable with is using the chat. So you may find that you've joined a Zoom meeting, and it's possible that there's lots of people on the meeting, or maybe this meeting is more of a lecture style, and the host is presenting slides or showing you how to do something. They may have disabled your ability to unmute your microphone. And instead, they may direct you and say, folks, if you have a question or a comment, please put it in the chat. And so we need to know, how do you open the chat? And then how do you send messages to the chat? So to open your chat window, if you're on a laptop or a PC, a desktop today, you'll go down to the bottom of your screen, and on your Zoom control bar, you will see the chat icon. For folks who are on tablets, iPhones or smart pads, what you'll do is, on your Zoom control bar, there is a button that has 3 dots on it. It's the More button. If you tap on your More button, you'll see a menu that drops down, and you'll see chat in that menu. So let's go ahead and either click on the chat icon or tap on the chat menu option to bring up the chat window. And if you're on a PC, a laptop, that chat window is going to display all the way to the right-hand side. If you're on a smartphone, the chat window pretty much takes over your entire screen. And on a tablet, depending upon the size, it most likely will be situated right in the middle of your screen. And unfortunately, you can't move it around. So let's go ahead and as long as everyone has their chat window, and let me know if you've had any problems bringing up your chat window. I see people are already entering messages into the chat. This is so awesome. What I'd like everyone to do is go down to the very bottom of your chat window. And you'll see, if you're on a PC, it will say type a message here. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, it will say tap here and start typing your message. What I'd like everyone to do is let's type out a greeting and also let me know where you're calling from. And if you're on a PC today, a laptop or a desktop, once you finish typing out your greeting, what you'll be doing is pressing the Enter key on your keyboard to send it to the chat window. And for tablet users, smartphone users, you'll be tapping on the send button, that blue and white send button. And let me know if you're having any troubles. This is my favorite part of class. I get to see where everybody's coming from: Chicago, San Diego, North Carolina, Virginia, Houston. This is fun. And let me know if anyone is having, South Carolina, any problems with the chat. I think we're doing great. Michigan, couple folks from Michigan. All right. And Maryland. And again, let me know if you're having any trouble finding your chat or typing a message in the chat. I think we've done a pretty good job. So the next thing I was going to show everyone is how can you send a private chat to one other participant. So what we've been doing is sending messages to the chat window. Everyone can see our messages, but you also have the option to send a private chat. And to do that, you'll go down to the bottom of your chat screen and you'll see that there is an everyone button. You can tap on that. You can tap on everyone or click on everyone. And what it does is it brings up a listing of all the participants in today's meeting. Now, your name won't show up there because you don't send messages to yourself, but you can send messages to everyone else. And what you can do here is once you have that list, you can select another participant from the list, type a message down at the bottom, and then you'll either press enter on your keyboard or tap send. And what you've done is you've sent a private message to that person, that one participant, that no one else can see. And this is good to know because there may be times during a Zoom meeting when you want to send a message maybe just to the host or to another participant, but not to the whole class. So this is important to know. How do you send a private message? And again, you're just going to click on that everyone button or tap on it depending on your device. And from the list of participants, you simply click on a participant's name, and then you'll be able to type out your message. And let me know if anyone has a question, any problems doing that. And also remember, once you've sent a private message to someone, that everyone button changes and you'll see that person's name instead. Make sure that if you want to send your next message to everyone, that you change the button so that you select, go back, click on the button, and then make sure you select everyone from the list. So hopefully that made some sense what I just described.
So I sent a private message to Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
how do I know she got it? I don't see on this right chat screen that she got it.
You won't. It's private. It doesn't show up in the main window.
Mhm.
Valerie would just have to send a message back saying, hi, thanks for your message. So that's a great question, Bonnie. Only public messages are displayed in that chat window. Private messages are not.
So she still hasn't said anything. So is Valerie there?
Valerie, did you send it to Valerie's iPad?
Yes.
And Valerie, feel free to select Bonnie from the list. She's trying, she's working on it.
So,
And- And you
now-
might not know, Bonnie, chances are that it was sent to Valerie. Valerie, do you have a question? Are you okay? For some reason, your volume is low. I can't hear you. So she's going to work on sending a private chat to you, Bonnie, but
so
it
how
won't
will
show
that
up.
be received? How will I receive that? Will that chat board change?
Yeah, let me go ahead. I'm going to send you a message.
Kay actually sent me a message and it actually says direct message. And then I replied to her. I'm assuming she received mine back and it
Okay,
says direct message.
I got
yeah,
a hello from Valerie.
yes.
Was that you?
No, you'll see it from, I gave you a message as well.
Vicky, you're Vicky.
Yes, that's
She
right.
said, hi, Bonnie. And then I got hello from Valerie. So now I know how it works. Thank you,
Yes.
Valerie. Okay.
All right, awesome. So this is how the chat works. And to close your chat window, all you need to do if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you can just tap on the close button in the upper, I think it's upper left-hand corner. If you're on a laptop today or a desktop PC, the easiest way to close your chat window is to go down to the bottom of your screen. And on that Zoom control bar, simply just click on the chat icon again, and it closes up the chat screen. And so we refer to that as what's called a toggle. It's a fancy word, which means that when you click on the chat icon once, it opens it up. If you click on the chat icon again, it closes the chat window down. And let me know if you have any questions or problems about closing your chat window. Valeria, you have your hand up, but you know what? You're not muted and I can't hear you. I don't know if your volume is down. Do you want to enter a question into the chat? Because something's happening with your volume. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
So I can't close the chat. I went down to stop video.
No, you're going to be clicking on the chat icon, the stop
Oh, the
video.
chat.
Yeah, the stop video is for your camera. When you
Well,
click on that chat icon again, does it close your chat window?
No, I guess.
Do you
But
see
now
your chat window?
screen is small. It's like it's behind your screen, the screen that you're on, but it didn't close it.
How about if you click on your chat icon once more? Try that.
And it came back up.
Okay, and now
I'm
click on that.
left clicking. Should I be right clicking?
Just clicking, just regular left clicking.
Now it went behind the screen, behind the screen that we're on, the video
Okay.
that we're on.
And Bonnie, are you on a laptop today?
No, I'm on an iMac.
Oh, you're on a Mac. Okay. It still should do that. As long as it's not in the way,
It's not.
we'll work on that. I have to I'll have to figure this out for you. Okay,
Thank you.
chat
Thank you.
window, no problem. Okay, so that's opening and closing the chat. And another tip that I wanted to give folks, when you close your chat window, it's very possible that other people may be adding messages to the chat. And if you're on a laptop, on a PC, when that happens, after you've closed your chat window, if you look down on your Zoom control bar, that chat icon will have a red dot on it with a number. And so as messages are added to the chat window, even if you have your chat screen closed, you can still see on your Zoom control bar, I can see, so there are some new messages that have come in. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you will see on that more button with the 3 dots, that will have a red dot with a number in it, indicating how many new messages there are. So it's good just from time to time to look at that Zoom control bar and say, any new messages come in? Because you might want to reopen your chat window to see what else has been added. So another tip for today. Let's keep moving on, and stop me if you have any questions. I wanted to show you what you can do in the participant screen, what controls we have access to. So on your Zoom control bar, whether it's down at the bottom of your screen or up at the top, you will see an icon that says participants, and it has the number 18 on it. And if you click or tap on the participants icon, that brings up your participant screen. And it will, if you're on a laptop today, it'll bring it up all the way to the right-hand side of your screen. Again, if you're on a smartphone, the participant screen just takes over your entire smartphone screen, and a tablet, it'll probably show up towards the middle. And so this is the participant screen, and let me know if you're having trouble opening it up. So as you scroll up and down through this list, you'll see everyone who is in the Zoom meeting. This is the list of participants, and your name will be on there as well.
So what is the difference with, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, Bonnie, go ahead.
So I'm looking at Valerie again. I don't know who Valerie is, but hello, Valerie. There's a blue thing, then her mic is off, and then there's a camera that's blank. There's nothing, and some people have red. So does that mean the people that have red through the camera, they're deleting their picture?
What that means, great question. So on that participants list, for those participants who have the microphone that's red with a slash through it, it means they're muted.
Okay.
And for those folks who have their little video camera is red through and with a slash through it, it means that they have their camera turned off.
Okay.
So that's
And
what.
why do we need to know that? Is it because, I mean, is there any reason why we would care whether their video is off or on?
It really is just a visual for people to see, oh, my camera is on and off. For the host, it's useful to know who is muted because I have the ability to mute everyone. Mm-hmm. And it's just a visual. That's really what it is. Sometimes there are some people that don't have microphones. It's possible that their audio just is either not working. And so that also lets me know if someone's maybe not able to participate via audio.
Okay, thank you.
But great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, some of the things that we can do on our participant screen. First off, I want to show people how you can rename your video display, that little video square, because sometimes you may have had to use someone else's device to log on to your Zoom meeting. Sometimes you're logging on and your video display says iPhone or iPad and there's a phone number. And the host may say, hi, can you please rename yourself, first and or last name, so I know who you are. The way that you can do this is from the participant screen. We now know how to open it up. You'll find your name in the list. And if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you can simply tap on your name. If you're on the laptop or desktop, as you move your mouse over your name, there are two blue buttons that show up. One of them is a More button. And when you click on More, there's a little menu that drops down with the option Rename. And if you're on a tablet or smartphone, when you tap your name in the participants list, that's when you see Rename. And if you tap or click on Rename, it brings up a little text screen. And I see that just renamed yourself. And this is where you can just change your display name. And so, and today you don't have to, if you like the way your name shows up, just leave it. But you have the option to change your name here. If you're on a laptop or a desktop, you can click OK. For those folks on the tablet or smartphone, when you're done typing out your name or changing your display name, you can tap Done. Casey Sunshine. I had one participant rename herself Cinderella, and I'm thinking, why not? Life's too short. Be Cinderella. So this is how you can change your name. Now, some of you may have seen a little checkbox right underneath your display name when you clicked on or tapped on Rename, and that checkbox would have said, remember me, remember this name for future meetings. Some people may have seen that, some people may not have. If you saw the checkbox, you can always click on that. And so your name that you've changed will stay that way for every single Zoom meeting you log on to. Otherwise, what will happen is when you've renamed yourself, this change is only good for the current Zoom meeting. So once you end the meeting and log on to your next meeting or join your next meeting, you'll need to rename yourself. So it's just temporary, but it's good to know how to do this because it takes just a second. So it looks like we've had, yeah, Bonnie.
Dear Valerie, why is her hand up? What are we supposed to be replying to her?
No, so I'm going to show you how you can use that hand up. And Allegra, did you have a question? Your hand is up too, or were you practicing?
No, my hand is up. I'm trying to get what you just last said. I can't get it on my iPad or my smartphone.
Renaming?
Renaming.
So are you on the participant screen?
Back on the participant screen. Let me get back on there again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on there now.
Can you tap on your name in the list?
Yes, I just did.
Okay.
It said lower hand, unmute or rename. Okay, I see it. Is this first time to come up? Yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got it.
Cool. All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bonnie, we're going to talk about the raised hand option. We're coming up there next.
Thank you.
The other thing that we can do when we're in the participant screen is we have the option to invite others to join our Zoom meeting once it's started. So for example, let's say you're in a meeting with family or friends and someone says, well, where's Uncle Bob? I thought we had invited Uncle Bob. Where is he? Did we forget to invite him? I've done this before. I've forgotten to invite people. So you can do this even as a participant. You don't have to be a host. You can invite others. And to do that, you'll go down to the lower left-hand corner of your participant screen. There is an invite button there. Now, I'm going to share my screen for a moment because I want to show you how you can use this invite button to invite other participants. So let me just share the screen for a moment. Let me just do it this way, it's easier. And hopefully everyone can see when I click on the invite button on the lower left-hand corner of my participant screen.
He answered already, I think. Or did he go off? I just invited someone and I thought,
Oh, okay.
what happens when you invite them?
Let me show you. So I'm going to click on invite, and remember, I'm on a PC. For those folks who are on a tablet or a smartphone, your interface looks a little different, so just hang tight. I want everybody to basically ignore what they're seeing here. Get Set Up has a corporate Zoom account that's tied into our corporate email account. So that's what I'm seeing here. So just ignore that. Instead, what you can do is, if you're on a laptop, you can click on the email option, just like I've done here. There are 3 email systems that you can choose from if you use Yahoo Mail. I happen to use Google Mail. And this default email is for everything else. If you're in Hotmail or AOL, or, you can choose default mail.
Or
I'm
Google.
going to, yeah, question. Nope, okay. I'm going to click on Gmail because that's the email system I use. And again, this is for laptop users, desktop users. And what it's doing is it's opening up Gmail. It is creating a new email message for me. It is adding all important information that we'll need to send to someone else to invite them. And here where I'm pointing, where I have my little pointer, this is the link, this Zoom link meeting link. And then in the to field where my cursor is blinking, I can simply type out someone's email address, and you can type out multiple addresses as well. And all I need to do is click on send. Zoom is going to send an email to that person. You just have to wait for a moment, and then it closes the screen down. When that person receives the email message, they will open it, and there will be a link that they can click on to join your meeting. Let me just stop sharing for a moment. And for those of you who are on a tablet or a smartphone, when you tap on the invite button, you see a menu that will say send email, send message, copy URL link, invite contacts. I would say the easiest choices for you would be either tap on send email to do exactly what I showed you, or tap send message, which does almost the same thing, except it brings up a text with all that information, and you can then just provide the addressee information, and it'll send it as a text. And so that's what the invite button does.
So
Yeah.
I clicked the invite button
Right,
and 2 names came up.
right.
So
Bonnie, did you click on the email? Did you click on the email tab?
No.
That's what you should be doing. It's much easier that way. I've tried doing this a number of different ways, and honestly, let me just share my screen for a moment again. When I click on that invite button, it automatically brings you to contacts. You can just ignore this screen.
Mhm.
I would have you just click on email over here,
Mhm.
and then choose your email option. If you don't use Yahoo or Gmail, just go with default email.
What if you don't remember which it is? Can you just use the
Use
default and the
default.
whole will come up?
Yep, yep. And then what will happen is an email message is a new one is created for you. Zoom copies all the invite information you'll need into that email message. And then all you have to do is address the message, enter one or more people's email addresses, and click on send. And that's the easiest way to use this. So hopefully, and for those folks who are just getting started with Zoom, if this is a little bit too overwhelming, don't worry about it. Come back, take class a couple more times, get comfortable. So that is the invite button. It can be really useful too. It's an easy way to quickly send someone an invite to your Zoom meeting once it's started.
So we're on a Zoom meeting now.
Yeah.
You're the host. If I successfully invite someone, he becomes part of this meeting?
Yes, unless I had the what's called the meeting room turned on, which I don't. Yes, they can join this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Got it. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and close our participant screen. If you're on a laptop or desktop today, PC, you'll go down to your Zoom control bar and you'll click on the participants icon. That closes your participant screen. If you're on a tablet, an iPad, or a smartphone, you can tap anywhere off the participant screen and it will close it. Oh, Bonnie, you're muted. You'll have to unmute yourself. I think Bonnie has a question.
So for me, I'm on an iMac. So when I click participants, it does nothing for me. But if I go on the screen on the top, on the left side, it says participants, and then it says close.
Yes, that's what you're going to do. Yep.
But it didn't go, or I have to do it again, close. Okay. Because one was the photos and then one was the messages. So there are
Okay.
two screens you have to close. Is that correct?
For you, for an iMac, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next up, let's talk a little bit about using reactions. So you may join a Zoom meeting and the host may have disabled your ability to unmute yourself. Again, maybe there's just a large number of participants in the meeting. And instead, the host may say to you, folks, if you have a question or any kind of a problem, please raise your hand. Please give us a virtual hand raise. They don't mean do this. Now, in my class, of course, if you raise your hand, I'm going to, call on you. But if you have, 60 people on a Zoom meeting, and people are doing this, honestly, it's hard for the host sometimes to see you raising your hand. And this is where we want to use the virtual hand raise, because then the host is immediately alerted that someone has raised their hand. So to do that, if you're on a laptop today, laptop, desktop, PC, you'll go down to your Zoom control bar. And there is an icon or a button called reactions. It looks like a smiley face with a plus sign. And if you click on the reactions button, it brings up another menu. That's where you have your raise hand button, and you can click on that. If you're on a tablet or smartphone, what you'll do is you'll tap on that more button, the button with the 3 dots. And that's where you'll see your raise hand.
Okay. So when I did that on
Mhm.
my iMac and I hit on participants, the thumbs up came up and a clap hands. So it's not a hand like, give me help.
So that was when you clicked on your reactions button,
Yes.
Bonnie. Okay, so that tells me you're running on just a slightly older version of Zoom. Not a problem. What you'll need to do is click on your participants icon.
Okay.
And on your participant screen on the lower right-hand corner,
Mhm.
that's where you'll see your raise hand.
That's that blue thing where's my friend? Oh, she took it off, Valerie.
Do you see the raise hand button?
I just clicked it and the blue button.
There
went
you
up.
go. Okay,
That
so,
was up before and you didn't address Val. Oh, her hand is up too now.
right, well,
Valerie's iPad.
I did, and I'm gonna have to show you how to lower your hand as well.
Okay.
So this is the virtual raise hand, and the way it works is that you may or may not see the hand on your video display, but the host can. And so hosts are alerted whenever someone raises their hand that
Oh, okay.
someone has recently raised a hand. And what we'll do is we'll stop and say, oh, Janice, I see you have your hand raised. Let me unmute you. Janice can ask her question, make her comment. Then the host will put Janice back on mute. And then Janice will need to lower her hand because this is how the raised hand works. Once you've raised your hand, your virtual hand raise, that icon, that raised hand icon stays on your video screen for the remainder of the meeting. And what will happen is the host will think, oh, Bonnie has another question, and they'll keep coming back to you to say, oh, I see your hand is raised. Do you have another question? And what you'll need to do is once, your question or comment has been addressed, you want to lower your hand. So Bonnie, for you on your participant screen, you will see the lower hand icon. The rest of us, if you're on a PC, laptop, you'll click on your reactions button, and that's where your lower hand button lives. For tablet users, smartphones, you'll tap on that more button, and that's where your lower hand is. And so it's important when you raise your hand, once you've had your question answered or you've been able to state your comment, don't forget to lower your hand, because otherwise that raised hand icon stays on your screen for the rest of the meeting. Now, as a host, I can always lower your hand for you, but it's just a nice practice to get used to. Now, Pam, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I have a Chrome laptop thing.
Okay.
So mine, to get to lower your hand, I have to go to the participants thing.
Yes.
Okay,
And-
so
yeah.
now I can take it off. I can hit the button.
Yes. And Pam, because you're on a Chromebook, you don't have the reactions button.
No.
So what I'm going to cover next, you won't be able to do, but that's just how some devices work differently when it comes to Zoom. So anyway, that is the raise hand and lower hand. Let's talk a little bit about some of the reactions that you can use. So again, if you're on a laptop or a PC today, if you click on the reactions button right above that raised hand, you will see 1, 2, 3, there's 5 of them, 6 different icons. There's a raised hand, there's clapping hands, there's a thumbs up, and a few others. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone today, what you'll do is when you tap on that more button at the bottom of the menu, this is where you'll see all of those icons, the clapping hand, the thumbs up, you'll see a heart. And if you only see the clapping hands and the thumbs up, don't worry, it just means that you're working off of a slightly older version of Zoom. And Zoom recently added a few extra of these. They're called emojis. That's what the name is for these different icons.
So did you see that my hand was raised? Let me raise it again. Now,
I did it now. No, that what you did is you just gave a thumbs up.
so after I put if I would use this to get your attention. Is that what you're saying?
That would be the raised hand. So you would go into your participant screen
Okay.
and you would do the raised hand. That's how I would know you have a question.
So what do we do these for?
Oh, let me tell you.
Okay.
So these emojis over here, this is what they call nonverbal feedback. So let's just say a participant is talking and they're saying something that you really like that you want to applaud, what you could do is you could either give them a clap hands emoji or a thumbs up. And what this does is it places this icon or this emoji on your screen. It only stays there for about 5 seconds and then it disappears. This is another way to give feedback to someone, maybe it's the host or another participant. Instead of unmuting yourself, maybe just interrupting them. It's just, you can do this while they're talking. You also may want to use it to interact with a host. A host may say, hey folks, if you just understood what I said, give me a thumbs up. And you can do this, but what they mean is go into your reactions menu and click on the thumbs up emoji. And it's another way to interact with participants, with the host. And often, you know, I have people take a look at these reactions and they say to me, what's with the clapping hands and with the heart and what's with the thumbs up? What is this stuff? So you have to think about who's been using Zoom in the past few years. Now, we're on Zoom now, but historically, younger generations have been using Zoom. This is how they connect with each other, how they talk to each other. They communicate. They use these emojis. So that's why they're there. It's optional. You don't have to use them, but it's another way of interacting with participants and the host on a meeting. So those are your reactions button. They can be very fun to use, or you don't have to use them at all. So that's reactions, and that's the raising of the hand. The last thing that we're going to talk about today is changing your views. So when you're on a Zoom meeting, on a Zoom call, you have 2 different views that you can work in. One is the gallery view, and that's where you can see all the participants' video display on one screen. I call that the Hollywood Squares view because it reminds me when I was a kid and I watched Hollywood Squares. The other view is speaker view, and that's where you would typically see me or the speaker in a larger video screen. And so let's see how we can move back and forth between these 2 views. So to switch, if you're working on a laptop or a desktop, what you'll do is you'll go to the upper right-hand corner of your Zoom window, and you'll see a view button. It says view, and it's got a little grid next to it. If you click on that view button, you will then see another menu that drops down. It has speaker view, gallery view, and full screen. And it will also have a check mark next to the view that you're currently in. So if you're in gallery view, you can click on speaker view and it will switch your screen. If you're on speaker view, you can click on gallery view and it will switch you to gallery view. So that's how you can switch back and forth if you're on a PC, a laptop. If you're on a tablet, maybe an iPad, you will see in the middle on the left-hand corner of your screen, there is an icon. And if you're in gallery view, that icon will say switch to active speaker view. If you're on active speaker view, the icon will read switch to gallery view. And so you can simply tap on that to switch back and forth between the 2 views. And finally, for anyone who is on a smartphone, what you'll do is you'll need to swipe left. Just take your finger and swipe left to start moving yourself into gallery view. And on the smartphone, you can only see 4 participants at a time on the screen. So you may need to keep swiping left to see more participants. If you're on a tablet, you can see up to 16 participants. And you may also need to swipe left to see more participants. And on a laptop, on a PC, you can see up to 49 people on a screen at once. So let me know if you've had any problems changing your views, switching between one versus the other.
So when I switch, it's Bonnie again. I'm sorry, all my friends. When I switch between, it goes either to the 4 people on little boxes on the top and your face is big, or it'll go to just the list of people, not their pictures.
Are you in, when you switch to gallery view?
Yes. Well, it doesn't say gallery view.
Um,
If I say view, it
Mhm.
says manage participants or show chat.
when you click on view.
Yes.
Okay, do you have anything on your screen? So you're on an iMac?
Yes.
All right, chat window not closing. I may have to find out how to do that on the iMac. I don't have one. Gallery view.
I can still see people. I finally see Valerie's iPad. Hello, Valerie.
And do you see do you see her waving to you?
I did.
Okay, so, but is that when you're in speaker view, Bonnie?
When
Like, do you see me as a large?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in speaker view and I'm trying to find how I can get you into gallery view on your iMac. And do you know how you switched to speaker view originally? So you were just like that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to find out how you can switch and I'll add it to the after class notes. I just don't have an iMac. I have a laptop, I have a Chromebook, and I have an iPad and an iPhone, but not an iMac. So I will find out for you and I'll include it in our after class notes. Sorry about that. We're this
Thank you.
close.
Okay. So everyone can hear me when I'm talking, all the
Yes.
participants.
Yep, and we can see you because your camera's turned on and your microphone is turned on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, I am going to close our class today. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining me. And I also encourage folks, come back and take the class as many times as you wish. We have other Zoom classes that we offer. And Valeria, what I might do is ask support to reach out to you separately. You're having problems with your volume. Okay. Let me just go ahead and share my screen very briefly so I can show you how we can find out other classes. So I'm going to go to the Get Set Up site. And the easiest way to find additional Zoom classes that we offer, I just go into the search classes and groups. I type out Zoom. And then here's a listing of all the other Zoom classes that we offer.
Oh, all right.
So a lot of stuff, fun games, backgrounds for beginners, advanced Zoom scheduling. We got it all. So I just wanted to show folks that. And that's it for me today. It's almost at the hour. I can't believe it. And as I said, Valeria, I'm going to ask support to reach out to you after separately so they can help you with your volume control. Sorry about that. And Janice, did you have a question?
Yes, you mentioned on the iPhone to sweep left to see the participants. How do I get back to see the host?
Swipe right.
Oh, you swipe right to get the host. Okay,
Yes.
I see. And another thing, on the Zoom, is this on any Zoom you can use these? Or do you have
Yes.
to have a special Zoom to participate with family or?
No, if you're joining a Zoom call, you do not need to have a Zoom account. You only
Okay.
require a Zoom account if you're going to be hosting a Zoom meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So
Yeah.
hosting a family group is not, no charge.
It's no charge, but you do need to have a Zoom account. You can get a free Zoom account to do that.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, thank you. It was a wonderful class.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Isn't
enjoyed
it-
it. Thank you very much.
Isn't it limited to minutes when you're,
Yes, if you have a free Zoom account, your meetings are limited to 40 minutes. Sometimes Zoom will waive the 40-minute limit during holidays. So, if you're going to host a Zoom meeting, just know that if you're using a free account, your meeting can go up to 40 minutes for two or more participants. So if you just have one other person on the Zoom call, it's unlimited. But as soon as that second person hops on, that's when the 40-minute limit takes place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much. I really enjoyed meeting everybody today and working with you. Hope to see you back in other classes,
Yeah.
and take care,
Yeah.
everyone.
You
Bye.
take care
Thank you.
too. Thank you.
Great class.
Good,
Yep.
I'm so glad.
wonderful,
Enjoyed it.
thank you. Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. You're doing great. I'm very impressed.